Sold!
From this moment belonged to me.
You just bought the most dangerous man in the galaxy.
The largest slave auction in the entire galaxy was about to begin. Kings, queens, and powerful emperors had gathered to buy the rarest prisoners alive. At the center of the arena, a human stood in glowing energy chains. His name was Kane. No one knew his true identity. To the galaxy, he was just another prisoner. The auction master raised his hand. Next lot. One human male. The crowd laughed. Who would waste money on a human? Then, a calm female voice echoed across the hall. I'll buy him. The crowd turned in surprise. It was Empress Aurora, the youngest ruler in the galaxy. She walked toward Lucas without fear. Looking directly into his eyes, she quietly said, "From this moment, you belong to me." Lucas smiled, a calm, confident smile. Then he whispered, "Your Majesty, you just bought the most dangerous man in the galaxy." The smile on the auction master's face instantly disappeared. The auction hall fell into complete silence. Every emperor, every commander, every noble stared at Empress Aurora. One elderly king stood up in anger. "Your Majesty, he's only a human. Why would you waste 10 billion credits on a slave?" Aurora didn't even look at him. Her eyes remained fixed on Lucas. "Because I don't believe he's what he appears to be." The crowd burst into laughter. The auction master smirked. "He's been locked in prison for 10 years. He has no family, no army, no future." Lucas quietly lowered his head. Then he smiled, a smile that made the auction master uneasy. Aurora noticed it immediately. "Why are you smiling?" Lucas looked directly into her glowing violet eyes. "Because your enemies think they just made you weaker." He took one slow step forward. The glowing energy restraints suddenly cracked. The guards instantly aimed their plasma rifles. The entire auction hall panicked. But Lucas didn't move. He calmly raised his hands. "Relax. If I wanted to escape, none of you could stop me." At that exact moment, emergency alarms echoed throughout the palace. A terrified officer rushed inside. "Your Majesty, the Shadow Legion has surrounded the Imperial capital." Every face in the auction hall turned pale. Aurora slowly looked back at Lucas. He gave a small smile. "Looks like you'll need your new bodyguard sooner than expected." The auction hall exploded into chaos. Nobles rushed for the exits. Royal guards formed a defensive wall around Empress Aurora. Outside, the sky turned black. Thousands of Shadow Legion warships surrounded the Imperial capital. The lead commander appeared on a giant holographic screen. His face was hidden behind a black metallic mask. His cold voice echoed across the palace. "Hand over the human, or your empire falls today." A wave of fear swept through the hall. Aurora stepped forward without hesitation. "He's under my protection now. You'll have to go through me first." The commander laughed. "Then prepare to watch your kingdom burn." Suddenly, the palace walls shook violently. A massive explosion echoed outside. One of the royal towers collapsed. The guards tightened their grip on their weapons. Lucas quietly watched the holographic screen. Then, he smiled. Aurora looked at him in confusion. "Why are you smiling at a time like this?" Lucas folded his arms. "Because they're not here to conquer your empire." He looked directly at the Shadow Commander. "They're here to capture me." The Shadow Commander remained silent. After a few seconds, he slowly lowered his head. "He's right." The entire auction hall froze. One human was more important than an entire empire. The auction hall became completely silent. The Shadow Commander pointed directly at Kane. "Return with us, and no one else has to die." Every royal guard raised their weapons. Empress Aurora stepped in front of Lucas. "He's under my protection. I won't hand him over." The Shadow Commander slowly shook his head. "Then your empire will be erased." Without another word, hundreds of Shadow Legion dropships descended toward the Imperial Palace. The windows trembled. Explosions echoed across the capital. The terrified noble screamed. Aurora looked at Lucas. Tell me the truth. Who are you? Lucas looked out at the burning city, then quietly replied, a man who made too many enemies. Suddenly, one young shadow soldier removed his helmet. The moment he saw Lucas, his eyes widened. He immediately dropped to one knee. Commander Kane. The battlefield froze. Every Shadow Legion soldier turned toward him in disbelief. The young soldier lowered his head. We finally found you. The Shadow Commander clenched his fists. His voice trembled with anger. Stand up. But the young soldier refused. Instead, more Shadow soldiers began lowering their weapons. One after another, they knelt before Lucas Kane. The entire Imperial Palace watched in stunned silence. Empress Aurora whispered, "Why are the enemy soldiers bowing to my prisoner?" The Imperial Palace fell silent. Thousands of Shadow Legion soldiers remained on one knee before Lucas Kane. Even the royal guards were too stunned to move. Empress Aurora slowly turned toward Lucas. Commander Kane, who are you? Lucas took a slow breath. His eyes remained fixed on the kneeling soldiers. A long time ago, I trained the Shadow Legion. The entire palace gasped. The Shadow Commander slammed his fist against the holographic console. Don't listen to him. He's no longer your commander. But no one moved. Instead, an elderly Shadow general stepped forward. He removed his black helmet, a long scar across his face. The moment he saw Lucas, his eyes filled with emotion. He slowly knelt. Commander, after 15 years, we never stopped looking for you. Aurora couldn't believe what she was hearing. You created the most feared army in the galaxy? Lucas quietly nodded. I created them to protect innocent people. His expression suddenly hardened. He looked directly at the Shadow Commander. So, tell me, who gave you permission to attack civilians? The Shadow Commander took one nervous step backward. For the first time, fear appeared in his eyes, because he knew the real Commander Kane had finally returned. The Shadow Commander slowly removed his black helmet. The entire Imperial Palace watched in silence. Beneath the mask was a familiar face. Lucas narrowed his eyes. General Kale? The man lowered his head. Yes, Commander. It's been a long time. Empress Aurora looked between them. You know each other? Lucas nodded. He was my best officer. Before I disappeared. Kale's expression darkened. Everything changed after you vanished. The Shadow Legion was taken over by someone far more powerful. Suddenly, every Shadow Legion soldier received the same transmission. Their wrist devices flashed crimson. A cold mechanical voice echoed across the battlefield. Supreme Order activated. Commander Kane must be eliminated. The kneeling soldiers froze. They struggled to resist. Some dropped their weapons. Others clutched their heads in pain. Aurora stepped closer to Lucas. What's happening to them? Lucas looked toward the sky. His voice became serious. Someone implanted control chips into every Shadow soldier. At that exact moment, a gigantic black flagship descended through the clouds. It was unlike any ship the Empire had ever seen. A holographic figure appeared above the battlefield. A tall man wearing dark Imperial armor smiled coldly. Welcome back, Lucas. I've spent 15 years building an army just to kill you. Lucas stared at the mysterious ruler, then quietly whispered, So, you finally revealed yourself. The entire battlefield trembled. The real war had just begun. The Shadow Commander slowly removed his black helmet. The entire Imperial Palace watched in silence. Beneath the mask was a familiar face. Lucas narrowed his eyes. General Kale? The man lowered his head. Yes, Commander. It's been a long time. Empress Aurora looked between them. You know each other? Lucas nodded. He was my best officer. Before I disappeared. Kale's expression darkened. Everything changed after you vanished. The Shadow Legion was taken over by someone far more powerful. Suddenly, every Shadow Legion soldier received the same transmission. Their wrist devices flashed crimson. A cold mechanical voice echoed across the battlefield. Supreme Order activated. Commander Kane must be eliminated. The kneeling soldiers froze. They struggled to resist. Some dropped their weapons. Others clutched their heads in pain. Aurora stepped closer to Lucas. What's happening to them? Lucas looked toward the sky. His voice became serious. Someone implanted control chips into every shadow soldier. At that exact moment, a gigantic black flagship descended through the clouds. It was unlike any ship the Empire had ever seen. A holographic figure appeared above the battlefield. A tall man wearing dark Imperial armor smiled coldly. "Welcome back, Lucas. I've spent 15 years building an army just to kill you." Lucas stared at the mysterious ruler, then quietly whispered, "So, you finally revealed yourself." The entire battlefield trembled. The real war had just begun. The battlefield stood motionless. Lucas Kane and Darius Voss faced each other, teacher and student. Darius slowly drew a glowing crimson energy blade. A confident smile returned to his face. 15 years ago, I couldn't defeat you. Today, I won't make the same mistake. Without warning, he charged. His speed was unbelievable. The royal guards couldn't even follow his movement. But Lucas didn't move. At the last second, he caught the energy blade with a single armored gauntlet. The entire battlefield gasped. Darius's eyes widened. Impossible. Lucas calmly pushed the blade aside. Power without discipline is always weak. One precise strike. Darius's weapon shattered into glowing fragments. Silence. Thousands of Shadow Legion soldiers watched in disbelief. For the first time, their fearless leader had been defeated. Suddenly, every control chip inside the Shadow soldiers activated at once. They screamed in pain. Their weapons automatically locked onto Lucas and Empress Aurora. General Kale shouted, "Commander, it's a self-destruct protocol." Lucas immediately understood. Darius smiled through the pain. "If I fall, the entire Shadow Legion dies with me." Aurora looked at the thousands of helpless soldiers. There has to be another way. At that exact moment, an ancient signal echoed across the battlefield. A forgotten Human Federation satellite activated after 15 years. Its hologram displayed one message: Master Override key found. Lucas slowly looked toward the sky, then smiled. "Now, we end this." The forgotten Human Federation satellite illuminated the sky. A brilliant blue beam connected directly to Lucas Kane's wrist device. The ancient AI spoke. "Master Override key authenticated." Every Shadow Legion soldier froze. The red glow in their eyes began to fade. General Kale looked up in disbelief. "He's freeing them." Lucas slowly raised his hand. The battlefield became silent. One command echoed through every Shadow soldier's helmet. Control protocol terminated. One by one, thousands of soldiers dropped their weapons. The crimson lights on their armor turned blue. They were free. Darius Voss watched everything collapse before his eyes. He clenched his fists. "No, they belong to me." Lucas looked directly at him. Soldiers are never property. They choose who they follow. For a moment, no one moved. Then, General Kale stepped forward. He saluted Lucas Kane. Behind him, 10,000 Shadow Legion soldiers saluted as well. The sound echoed across the entire Imperial capital. Empress Aurora smiled. She finally understood. Lucas Kane had never ruled through fear. He had earned loyalty. Suddenly, a warning alarm interrupted the celebration. The palace AI announced, "Unknown fleet entering the galaxy. Threat level, Omega." Everyone looked toward the sky. A gigantic golden portal opened above the planet. Something far larger than the Shadow Legion had arrived. The golden portal continued expanding. Its light illuminated the entire galaxy. Every fleet, every satellite, every defense system shut down instantly. The Imperial Palace fell silent. Even Lucas Kane looked toward the sky. Slowly, a colossal golden battleship emerged. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Its surface was covered with ancient symbols that no civilization could read. Then, a calm female voice echoed across every communication channel. "Searching, Supreme Protector? Identified. A beam of golden light descended from the ship. It stopped directly in front of Lucas. From the light, a breathtakingly beautiful woman appeared. She had long, flowing golden white hair, brilliant sapphire blue eyes, elegant white and gold celestial armor. A glowing crystal crown floated above her head. She slowly walked toward Lucas. The entire battlefield watched in complete silence. Without saying a word, she knelt before him, then softly whispered, "Commander, I've finally found you." Empress Aurora stared in disbelief. Who is she? The mysterious woman looked up. "I am Celestia, guardian of the first human empire." The entire galaxy froze. The first human empire wasn't a legend. It still existed. Celestia extended her hand toward Lucas. The galaxy is safe, but humanity still needs its commander. Lucas looked at Aurora, then at the thousands of soldiers whose lives had just been saved. He smiled. "Looks like my mission isn't over yet." The golden flagship turned toward the stars. As it disappeared into hyperspace, one message echoed across the galaxy. A new era has begun. And from that day onward, Lucas Kane was no longer known as a prisoner or a soldier. He became the Supreme Protector of humanity. The end.